There are countless shops, eateries, museums, galleries, and other attractions in New York City, which is why it's known as the city that never sleeps. There are a ton of enjoyable activities available, whether you're traveling alone, with friends, your significant other, your family, or your children. These are the top 10 things to do on your first visit to NYC. Top 10 New York sightseeing tours on big buses. You'll get the chance to see many of the top buildings, tourist attractions, and locations that the city has to offer with a hop-on, hop-off big bus tour. Among the options are Empire State Building, SOHO, Little Italy Brooklyn Bridge, City Hall, Wall Street, Charging Bull, High Line, Madison Square Garden, and many more. If you wish, you can get off and on the bus at any time during your ticket. Top 9. The Ride. It's a unique and interesting way to see New York. The streets of New York became an entertaining stage for skilled street performers thanks to The Ride, a distinctive interactive experience. Riders embark on a 75-minute journey through the Times Square and Midtown Manhattan on this custom-built tour bus with essential functions. As a mobile theater, professional comedic hosts will be your tour guide along the way, providing context for the sights you'll see through history, trivia, fun facts, and even karaoke. Top 8. A beautiful view to enjoy. You can enjoy a fabulous view of the skyline from some of New York's most popular tourist destinations. For a good vantage point, the city offers breathtaking views, so don't miss these. The Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. New York City has been a major welcoming port for immigrants for the most of its history, as a symbol of America's history as a land of opportunity and freedom of immigrants. The Statue of Liberty is also an excellent vantage point for which to view the sprawling city. 9/11 Memorial and Museum. The 9/11 Memorial and Museum is one of the most important places in NYC. The exhibit at this moving attraction tells a tragic story of one of the most darkest days in recent U.S. history. These sections of the museum cover the lead-up, day of, and aftermath of the attacks, as well as lives lost and the relics left behind. Its water feature and lighting make it a popular place for photographs. The Empire State Building. Check out the 360-degree views of the city from the 86th floor observation desk of the Empire State Building. The Top of the Rock Observatory. Rockefeller Plaza is the home of the Top of the Rock Observatory, one of the iconic hubs of the Big Apple. It is located at the top of Rockefeller Center, a complex of 19 buildings between 48th and 51st Streets. Top 7. A boat tour of New York City. Don't forget that Manhattan is technically an island if you're visiting New York. It is a great place to explore by boat because it's completely encircled by water. Exploring the city by boat is a wonderful way to take a stunning views and create priceless memories. Whether you're departed from the Upper Bay region beneath Manhattan, the Hudson on the west side, or the East River to the east. Top 6. Circle Line Sightseeing. The Landmark Cruise. A sightseeing cruise should be taken into consideration if you only have a short amount of time in New York City. The comprehensive, enjoyable landmarks cruise with Circle Line Sightseeing is a choice. This tour covers landmarks in Lower Manhattan, up to about 20th Street level, and the East River and along the Hudson Shore south of Hell's Kitchen. The Empire State Building, Chrysler Building, High Line, One World Trade Center, Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, Dumbo, Brooklyn Bridge, and many other locations are just a few of the places you'll see. Top 5. Visit NYC's top museums. The Big Apple's cerebral side should not be missed by visitors. New York's top museums are some of the city's finest attractions for both young and old. There is a museum for every interest in New York City. NYC Museum offer a wide range of exhibits, special events, unique programming, and more. Number 1. American Museum of Natural History. A top museum in New York, the American Museum of Natural History is both fun and educational. One of the world's largest museums, the American Museum of Natural History attracts millions of visitors every year. You can include it into a larger itinerary because of its west side of Central Park. There are more than 40 permanent exposition halls that explore planetary, geological, biological, and anthropological subjects. Number 2. The Museum of the Modern Art, located in Midtown. The Museum of Modern Art features collections focusing on more recent and diverse artistic productions, in addition to paintings, drawings, sculptures, prints, and architecture. The Museum of Modern Art also exhibits photography, illustrated books, and electronic media. Among their most famous holdings are works by Jackson Pollock, Vincent van Gogh, Claudette Monet, Pablo Picasso, Cindy Sherman, and Andy Worth. Number 3. The Met. One of the most popular places in NYC to visit for visitors interested in art history and gaining a deeper understanding of the studio arts is the Metropolitan Museum of Art on Fifth Ave, on the east side of Central Park. Among the Met's more than 15 curatorial departments are exhibits on the form around the world and across time, including ancient Egyptian artifacts and modern paintings. This museum exhibits not only Western Renaissance art, but also Asian, African, Ocean, Byzantine, Indian, and Islamic works of art. Number 4. The Guggenheim Museum. The Guggenheim is located near the Metropolitan Museum of Art along Museum Mile. It consists mainly of modern and contemporary art, and it shares private collections with sister museums in Bilbao, Spain, and Venice, Italy. Guggenheim philosophy of displaying art is unique. Instead of grouping items by genre, the Guggenheim arranges objects in thematic ways that encourage visitors to think about connections. Among the featured artists are Senzak, Julien Gris, Kandinsky, Marc Chagall, Kell, and many more. Number 5. The Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum. To learn more about maritime history, visit the Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum and Aircraft Carrier turned museum on the banks of Hudson. Intrepid was established as a museum in 1982, but it serves as an aircraft carrier during World War II and the Vietnam War. The museum exhibits both the vessel's service history and 20th century naval history. Top 4 rent a bike in Central Park. It's common for former visitors to New York City to regret not spending more time in Central Park. However, a full-day biking rental will allow you to visit most of the park's top attractions, and will also give you some great exercise. A trip to the Central Park Zoo, a paddle boat ride on the lake, a nap in Sheep Meadow, and a tour in the Central Park Mall with its daily L streams are just a few of the activities you'll want to do while spending the day at the park. Enjoy the view of the Great Lawn from the Belvedere Castle, and if you have time, stroll through the legendary walk to see statues of some of the most well-known authors in English language such as Fitzgibbon Halleck, Sir Walter Scott, and Robert Burns. Top 3. A tour of Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, is yet another must-see attraction in New York. Get behind the scene, look at this famous venue by taking a 75-minute guide tour on its historic location. In this, some of the most well-known performances and events have taken place, many of which are highlighted in the Defining Moments exhibits at the MSG. Both the NBA's New York Knicks and the NHL's New York Rangers call the Garden their home. Sports fans will be curious to learn how the basketball court turns into an ice rink. Top 2. See the Brooklyn Bridge. When visiting New York City, be sure to include seeing the stunning Brooklyn Bridge on your list of things to do. Start on the Brooklyn Bridge side and stroll towards Lower Manhattan for breathtaking views of the skyline. You don't have to walk the entire 1.1 miles of the pedestrian walkway, though if you don't have much time, head out to the first tower from the Manhattan side for some worthwhile pictures. Top 1. Visit the iconic Times Square in New York City. Times Square, one of the most famous places on earth, is a never-ending center of excitement. Times Square is filled with activities. You can find some of the best dining establishments, unusual shopping options, and unrivaled opportunities for people watching. Times Square is located directly in the middle of New York City's Theater District, which is bound by the east and west of the 6th and 8th Aves, and to the south and north of the 40th and 53rd Streets. Times Square's diverse cuisine reflects the ethnicity of its residents, who are Chinese, French, Vietnamese, Argentinian, Japanese, and Mexican. Anything you can think of is there, ready for you to discover. It never gets boring in Times Square because there are so many things to see and do. Hopefully this video will be helpful to you on your first visit to the city that never sleeps. Thank you for watching.